Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Oscar. I'm in section 2 of Professor Aracon's Criminology class, and today we're going to be talking about capitalism and crime, and more specifically Marxist criminology. So when we look at Marxist criminology, the main focus is going to be the link between economic inequality, the power structures, and systematic um, hierarchies that kind of influence criminal behavior. More specifically, the video provided kind of explains in depth the differences in social classes and how they commit crime. More specifically, that there may be differences in the types of crime committed, but not a difference in the overall crime committed, with the numbers of crimes being committed being about equal. However, when we look at how capitalism shapes crime, who is labeled as a criminal, and how these laws are enforced, we definitely see favoritism towards the higher classes, with them being able to influence politics even within the democratic process, and allowing them to label poorer classes or lower classes as criminals, and as crime as an issue with these groups of people, simply because the crimes that they commit are not, laws are either not enforced, or social crimes are not illegal, or deviant activity is not illegal, due to the way they influence social structures. More specifically, we see things like, where the video describes how crime is a rational response to inequality, and what we see is not that crime is disproportionate to poor communities, more that it's disproportionately lower than it should be as a result of systematic oppression against lower classes. And when we think of examples that come from the modern day, kind of fitting into this theory, there are some pretty obvious ones. Corporate crimes almost not really being seen too much within, at least the public sphere. The only really high profile white collar or corporate criminals are those that kind of screw over other influential people, whereas we constantly see low street crime, uh, kind of blasted in our face and filling up the criminal justice system. I think, in my opinion, to the detriment of society as a whole, and how those unequal justices, because of the inability to pay for an expensive lawyer, or being forced to use public public defenders, where they don't see the same quality as influential or higher class people, uh, not getting that same treatment within the criminal justice system. And even further, poverty kind of creating necessity, and when the system, as in jobs and social safety nets, are unable to provide, criminal activity becomes the final alternative. And when we try and look at how Marxist criminology can help criminologists create fairer laws and more optimal crime prevention strategies, I think it is important to take into account how individuals of lower classes view society, and how they feel the way they've been treated. So we tend to punish most crimes as if it doesn't matter the mindset the person is in. But when we can prevent crime by preventing that mindset, preventing desperation that leads to crime, and create more fairer laws by enforcing and criminalizing socially deviant behavior that the rich and affluent have allowed themselves to get away with, either through the legislative process, or simply through abusing the legal system.